YouTube, how's it going? The Goat House is back. We got the Las Vegas Raiders record prediction for you guys today, going through game by game. Also going to give you best case and worst case scenario. Doing this for every single team. We've pretty much done every team so far, or as of now. We got AFC West to finish up, then we got NFC West, and we're on to my playoff predictions, Super Bowl predictions. So excited about what's coming here in the near future. So like, subscribe, make sure you follow our Twitter. Very important. Keeping you guys updated on the channel, the NFL, and you guys are kind of playing along, creating your own playoff field and on there. So check that out. Link down below for anything you need. Playoffpredictors.com is what we're using for all these videos. You guys know the drill. Raiders, tough team here to predict. You know, they got going last year, and they kind of folded a little bit late last year. Will it be a thing again? It feels like the last couple of years, Derek Carr is playing like a top 10 quarterback early in the year, and then not even close later in the year. Not that he's really playing bad, but I do really like what the Raiders did with this defense. It's not going to be a great defense. Maybe it's on its way. But last year, they had pretty poor, play calling, coverage concepts, for the Raiders last year on their defensive side. And adding Gus Bradley, a great defensive mind, that's fantastic. We're going to see more cover 3 rather than cover 2. Not a huge fan of cover 2 unless you have the right players. Then it can be dominant. It can really throw off quarterbacks if run right, but they were just too young, especially in the secondary there. And they added pass rush, whether it's interior line and in the edge rush position. So I do like that for the Raiders. Offensive line looks a little different. It could have a small adjustment period, but I'm really not worried about it. I think it's going to be a good offensive line still. A lot of those guys you see that aren't really there, or, a guy like Trent Brown who's not there, was kind of not there as it was. Very good, but he was kind of hurt. So I'm not, I see people kind of overreacting, I think, from the offensive line. I'm not saying it's, maybe it won't be as good as it was last year. Maybe it could be a little step down, but little is really all it would be, in my opinion. Just about staying consistent. Play calling was a little inconsistent as well last year, and the defense has got to improve. I think it will. It'll still have its moments, though. See what they do at the safety group. They added some safeties. Merrig played a bit of everything at TCU, and that's why he stood out. I worry that he's a good player, but I worry they're going to stick him in one spot. So that's something I do worry about, kind of random. But Ravens and Raiders, Monday Night Football in Las Vegas, could be a good game. Anything can happen in Week 1, but I'm going to take the Ravens. I think the good news is you have, since the schedule came out, till Week 1 to game plan for Lamar. That's ideal. I have all that time to figure out. Maybe too much time to think about it. But then the other end, just dealing with Lamar Jackson Week 1 when, your team's not in full force, full gear. That's why random things happen in Week 1 most time. It's just all about who's more prepared, really, in the best shape sometimes, the best health as well going into Week 1, which you expect everyone. I think handling Lamar in primetime Week 1 is just not ideal. I'm gonna take the Ravens. That could be a good game. This is one I'm back and forth on. Raiders, Steelers. I can argue both sides in this one because I still think, no Bud Dupree, but I still think the Steelers pass rush will be a force because, they still got TJ Watt, Stephon Tuitt, Cameron Hayward, and the list kind of goes on there, and they can blitz as well from their inside linebacker position. So the Raiders, again, some changes to the offensive line. Again, I think it'll be fine. I think it'll be a good offensive line still. But could there be that adjustment period here early Week 2 playing against Steelers pass rush? And that could really set the difference here. But then the other side, if the Raiders, what I think is still a solid offensive line, if they hold that down, everything else kind of points towards them. I think they'll be able to run the ball, not at a super high level, but pretty effective. I think they'll be able to throw on them. Steelers corners, I think a little bit on the weaker side. I think Darren Waller could really be a problem in this game. Steelers play a lot of small ball. I think the Raiders could actually stop that small ball. What I think would beat them is the deep ball. Steelers can throw it, but not, I think more things side towards the Raiders. So I'm back and forth on that one. So I'm gonna go with the Raiders. Dolphins, Raiders too. Another one I'm back and forth on here. Good game. They had a good game last year as well. That was a wild game. The Raiders kind of choked that one away. They played very well against Tua. Defense gets better. I think Tua gets a lot better too, though. They had some speed at the receiver position. That could be a little bit of a problem. The Dolphins win games by forcing turnovers. The Raiders don't turn the ball over a ton. I think Josh Jacobs actually can get going in this game as well. Give me the Raiders. I'm on the fence about these last two, really. Raiders and Chargers, Monday Night Football. Seen a good game or two against them last year. I think the Chargers will be better later than they are earlier. I think the Raiders will be up better earlier than they are later. So I'm going to actually have the away team winning this game. Raiders, Raiders. Another game where I actually think Josh Jacobs gets going. The Bears defense a little bit on the decline. And will the Bears be able to keep up, which is expected to be Andy Dalton. So they're on a little bit of a roll. I got the Broncos in this one. Broncos could be effective on the ground. Also can have an effective game in terms of defense. Eagles, Raiders. Again, Eagles' path to victory for this year, easiest path, I think, is their pass rush. And they could cause problems for this little different-looking Raiders offensive line, but I don't think enough of that. So I'll take the Raiders. Bye week. Another one they can go back and forth. The Giants play some good defense. They could slow down Josh Jacobs. They're not going to get a ton of pressure, though. I think the Raiders still score enough points. Will Daniel Jones be able to keep up? The Raiders, a really good start for the Raiders. The schedule's better earlier than it is later. I had them beating the Chiefs, still I got them getting one of the Chiefs. They played them very well, almost had them twice last year. I do think the Raiders are better on paper than they were last year. Bengals, Raiders could go either way. The Bengals offense could stretch the ball downfield against the Raiders defense. They could get the ball downfield. It's a game where the Raiders' new look pass rush could really show themselves. Here we go. This is where they get going, though. And I do think another game where Jacobs could be effective. Give me the Raiders. Give me Thursday night. Give me the Cowboys. I think absolute shootout. I'm going to take the Cowboys in the shootout. Washington versus the Raiders. Man, a lot of these are good games here. I'm back and forth on this one. I think that's why I think, originally I was thinking the Raiders. I think the more balanced teams could kind of create problems for Washington. They maybe have enough defense, especially when they kind of developed the Raiders, that is, at this time in the year 13, to slow them down. It's not the toughest offense to play, and I guess it's really on the Raiders offense versus Washington defense there. It's really what it's on. I do think it's another one of those games where I think a guy like Darren Waller can have some success if Ruggs gets going. Give me the Raiders in that one. I'm starting to, as I'm doing this Raiders video, I'm starting to maybe thinking they can do something here. But this is a tough stretch right here. Chiefs aren't going to lose them twice. The Browns in this one, it's going to be Jacobs versus Chubb/Hunt in this one, in which defense can create that extra turnover, that extra big play. I'm taking the Browns. They're not going to lose twice to the Broncos. I like the way the Colts match up against them. And then they'll slow down Josh Jacobs. They can stop the run. They also can kind of create maybe that one turnover of the game here on defense. I do think Carson Wentz could have a solid game. Late in the year could get going here. So I do like the way the Colts match up with them. And like I said, I had the Chargers. I think we'll be playing better ball later. Raiders playing better ball earlier maybe. So had them splitting away games. So they really kind of blew it down here in the stretch. But still at 10-7. This is one these two right here. I gave them both of them too, so I'm kind of on the best case side already with the Raiders in my opinion. Because these three, I had all three. These are the ones I was really on the fence. Steelers, Dolphins, Washington. I happen to give the Raiders all three, so keep that in mind. I'm kind of in the best case. If we want to go best case here, I don't think we can change too much. Colts maybe. 11-6 to me is the best case. I'm pretty close to that best case already. They can lose this one. They can lose that, but I don't think they lose both to the Raiders. So we can swap it that way. Realistically, they could lose to the Bears. They could. The Giants is kind of close. The worst case could be pretty damn 7. It might be generous for worst case. Kind of throw the Bears. 6-11 is kind of worst case. So I was kind of on the higher end of things there. Again, these three that they're so tough. Washington could get. That's the one that I'm really mainly back and forth on. There is that's the one that. This is what I really had actually. Because when Derek Carr isn't too solid under pressure, but he's not pressured a whole lot. Washington, if there's a team that definitely can get pressure, it could be Washington. That could really set things off there. So it's tough. We're definitely in that 9-10 range there for the Raiders. Do I trust them down the stretch? It's actually not really so much that. I didn't like go into this purposely. Okay, the last couple of years they were disappointing down the stretch, so I'm going to have them doing it again. It just happened to be the schedule. So it's a little bit of a coincidence. I think that it kind of does factor in. Yeah, I'm starting to worry about them. Chase Young, Montez Sweat, Jonathan Allen. If they get pressure in that game. But I do think, again, Darren Waller, Henry Ruggs, his speed, I think they can actually get some separation down the field. That's a hell of a ball game right there. That's an interesting matchup, so can't wait till we get to that one. But that's my thoughts on the Raiders for this year. You guys can let me know your thoughts in the comments. We got Chargers and Broncos next, and then the 4 teams from the NFC West, and then playoff predictions, Super Bowl predictions. Cannot wait for that. We'll have some player rankings heading into the season coming up, some of my favorite videos there. So a lot planned here. Hopefully you join us for all that. Smash the like button, subscribe. Make sure you follow us on Twitter. Very, very important. A playlist full of all these videos on the channel. Check them out. It's going to do it, though. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.